everyone. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot. Hello. This is a pick a card reading on what Spirit wants to tell you right now. So, and why. So we have, for pile one, we have the 28 pentagon card here. And then this little very translucent moon here. So, and I only paired that up, so moon with the star that was there, the pentagram. So pick that if you're drawn to pile one, that's pile one. And then we have pile two here. We have number 20, the medicine wheel. And then we have this here crystal. And then for pile three, we have 34 June companions. And then we have this little guy here. It's interesting because I realized that had butterflies. I didn't intentionally do it, but I just now realized that this has it has almost a butterfly shape, and there's butterflies on that card. I guess that's why I paired them up. But go ahead, I'll give you a couple seconds to figure out which pile you're drawn to, whether that be pile 1, 2, or 3. Now, I also know by the insights that I have that's coming through when I pulled the cards for each pile, now it is possible that you could resonate with more than one pile. So please keep that in mind. If you're drawn to more than one pile, please feel free to listen to more than one, because I feel like they're going to have some different messages in them, and they can... I could see where one person could be, be involved in several of these currently. So I am so sorry. I need to really get my timing down. I did not realize it got so close. I was messing with my camera and I did not realize it got so close to 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is my cat's feeding time. As you heard, that's the automatic cat feeder. And I do that so often in readings, it's not even funny, because I lose track of time way too often when I'm doing readings. So we'll go ahead and go over again. We have the pile 1 is the 28 pentagon card. Pile 2 is 20 medicine wheel. And then we have pile 3, the 34 June companions card. So take a couple minutes. Pause the video if you need more time, but I'll see you at whatever pile you go and visit me in, okay? Thanks. Hello, my pile ones. Hello, and welcome. If you picked pile 1, you picked the 28 pentagram card here. So this is from the Sacred Geometry deck. And one of the main things that was coming through very strongly when I picked this card is look at all the stars. There's all these stars on there. And it was really giving me a very star card, tarot card feel. So I really feel like there's a few things that want to come through right off the top for my pile 1s and that is one, that you are a star, okay? I think that there might be some doubt in your mind, my pile 1s, that maybe there's a little bit of not truly, totally believing in yourself, maybe that's the case. If that's resonating with you, this is your call out from Spirit to say you are a star, to believe in yourself, because you do have star quality, my pile 1s. You do have the ability. I think right now that the universe is working on orchestrating some things in your life. I think my pile 1s, I really feel very strongly that you guys have done some real good work lately, that you're almost like coming into your rewards, like maybe getting some good karma for work that you have been doing maybe on yourself or in my life in general, that you've been maybe working through some things. But this is so funny because I had this and I put it this way when I put the piles, and it kept spinning around and it kept wanting to land like this, which is, like it's supposed to be kind of this, I don't know, he's a little moon here, moon guy. But one, I had him upside down, and then he kept wanting to spin. He didn't want to stay still. So I feel like my pile ones, you're maybe spinning a little bit, and you're, like, and then I still put him on the wrong side. See, that's what, he doesn't want to stay. I don't know. Maybe he's supposed to be that way. But anyway, my pile ones, I really feel like here that, you might be kind of spinning around. You might have been really busy, really hectic, getting a lot done lately. Like just a lot of stuff on your plate, a lot of, look at all those like circles there, like there was just around that pentagon, that's the central structure. So you might have to, put up some, you might have, I feel like somewhat, too, because if you think about a pentagram, a lot of times a pentagram is done for protection. So you might have been a little bit, recently a little bit closed off, a little bit guarded, that Seven of Wands kind of energy in a sense. And I think it's just because you had a lot of plates, a lot of plates going on, a lot of plates you were juggling in your life at this time, my pile ones. So we have here for you the studying card. I'll go ahead and this is, I'm not sure I'm going to get this right centered in the, well, we'll find out when I go to edit it, right? Because I cannot see the camera. It's way, way up high. So we have anchor here, studying with the trigger statement. I am not ready for what comes next. So I am definitely going to say, my pile ones, the universe, this in spirit is definitely saying you are ready. So, but now it is saying here, true statement, I take it one step at a time. And that's what I feel like. There's been a lot on your plate, my pile ones. There really has. And I think spirit is very aware of this. It's very aware of all the work that you've been putting in towards something. And it's saying, it's kind of like that, the tortoise wins the race kind of thing, to just keep plodding along, that this, what you've been wanting is coming with the star quality here, and the star comes after, like it usually comes after like a tower moment. So usually there's some healing, like something's happened and then you're healing from it, because the star has that healing, that healing property, but it's also hope. It's also, like, and I feel like that's what, like, there might be this part of you, and we'll get into that might be losing a little bit of hope, possibly. So that might be a challenge that comes up when we do the challenges. But I really get this, with this being being anchor, that you might need to ground yourself. Because I was getting this very, like, a lot going on. And when we get really busy and we maybe have a lot of stuff on our plate and a lot of stuff going on in our lives, we can get ungrounded, okay? I have a problem with that when I do these readings, and that's because I get in that very high vibrational energy, because I'm communing with spirit, and spirit is at a high frequency, and that's why I go so fast sometimes. I talk so fast because I'm connecting with spirit and I'm getting those messages and that flow, and I forget to ground, and that's when if you hear me, like trying to bring my voice down, trying to slow down, that's me reminding myself mentally that I need to ground. But I feel like, my pile ones, you're needing to ground as well. And we have, although things are shifting so quickly, be present and know this is part of the greater plan. And I was saying that I really feel like you have had a lot on your plate, my pile ones, so much on your plate. And I feel like that the universe is telling you, you can take things one step at a time. It's all going to work out. Things are, I think things are working out in your favor. I think that the universe is just trying to orchestrate some stuff and move some stuff around on the 5D so that they can show up in the 3D. But I definitely feel like your hard work is paying off, and that you have abundance and blessings coming your way, my pile one. I really feel that strongly, that you have something beautiful coming in. Whatever that is that you have been wishing for, hoping for, that you've been working so hard for. And I can't tell you what that is, whether that be It could be, it could be that you've been working toward trying to get a certain job or career. It could be that you're working toward a person that you're in love with and you're trying to build that connection with, or, where it's been challenging. But I love this coming out for you. Oh my gosh, because I said it's that abundant energy. I really feel like my pile ones, that you have this real abundant energy right now, that you are in the flow, like that everything, there's this you're like this star quality, because that's what the divine feminine is, so amazingly attractive. When a person, and everybody has divine feminine and everybody has feminine and masculine energy within them, and the point to strive for, or the goal to strive for, is balance. Everything in life, the goal is to find balance in everything, to find harmony. Harmony is the most important thing, harmony and balance. So this tells me, whoever you are, whether you're a male or a female, it doesn't matter, that you are very strong in that powerful, attracting magnetic energy. Because when we have the divine feminine card come out, it really can, that's somebody that's using their intuition, someone that's in receiving mode, that is grateful, that has a lot of gratitude, that has a lot of kindness and compassion, and they're able to, make things happen without doing very much work. So that's something to keep in mind, that you are attracting things. Even though you're really busy, I really feel that the universe is coming in right now and letting you know that you have some wonderful things coming in, and that you don't have to work as hard as you think you do, my pile ones. I really feel like the universe is working with you right now. The spirit is working with you to orchestrate some beautiful, wonderful things going on in your life. So let me go ahead and change decks here. I have 2 more oracle cards that I want to pull for this reading, or 3 for you guys. Oh my gosh, seriously? Spirit, you had some stuff to say, okay? I see this now. So, my pile ones, you got the Devil card. Release yourself from the devil's grip. You are more powerful than your inner shadow. Yes, I really feel like there are some things, and I told you, I feel like there's moments, pile 1, where you may not believe in yourself. That came out in the first part, the very first thing in the reading. So I really do feel like there are some shadow things, some negative self-talk here that maybe get you in your own head and get you in your way a little bit sometimes. Can be that 5 of Swords energy. So, and then we have open portal. I told you, doors are opening for you at this time when you can achieve okay, so rewind. Doors are opening for you. This is a time when you can achieve a lot and make big changes. So yeah, I told you, I'm feeling that tremendously. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. So knowledge. Demonstrate your willingness to learn, whether personally or professionally. Be willing to make mistakes. So I feel like this is already you, my pile ones. I think that you're already doing this knowledge part. And I told you, I feel like you've been working really hard, and the universe has seen that. Spirit has seen that, and they're opening these doors because of it. But they're telling you, my pile ones, to be cautious and don't let yourself get in the way, because you don't want to self-sabotage this, okay? You don't want to self-sabotage these blessings and these gifts that spirit is aligning for you right now. Be cautious that you don't self-sabotage them with old behaviors, old behavior patterns that you've been working very hard to move past, okay? So keep that in mind, my pile ones. No, it wants that top card. Okay, gotcha. I will listen. Pure passion. Do some soul searching to find your true purpose. You have a special mission to fulfill. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, my pile ones, because this is that star. I told you, look at this rose. Isn't that rose just absolutely beautiful on that card? Absolutely stunningly beautiful. And I feel like that's you, that you're like in this garden, like you're so, we talked about this kind of guarded energy right now. And I feel like, you're protected. Because in this protection, this bubble of protection that was put around you, it was was to allow you to blossom and bloom into the rose, the magnificent, beautiful rose that you're meant to be. This time was whatever you have been going through, whatever has been transpiring in your life currently, that has got you, like things going crazy and got all this stuff that's going on and all this work that you've been doing. And it doesn't matter whether the work is on a mental level, an emotional level, a physical level. It doesn't matter. It all counts, and the universe has given you this time. You've been going through a lot. I think it's like forged under fire is what I'm feeling, like you were forged under fire. That the universe threw a lot at you, my pile ones, to challenge you, to see if you could stand it, if you had learned the lessons. I almost feel like this was a test that you are passing, my pile ones. And because you are passing that test with everything that got thrown at you, my pile ones, the universe has got some wonderful, wonderful blessings coming in for you, as long as if you learn the lessons, if you don't self-sabotage yourself. So, and I think in part of that is in this journey, my pile ones, you have found your purpose. You have found you've been able to see where you're supposed to go, what's supposed to change in your life. And purpose can be so many things. I'll tell you, it was really eye-opening and shocking when I realized what my true purpose was, because it definitely was not reading tarot. Let me tell you, it's not. It's partially connected with that, and it's part of the reason that I'm here. It's some of my gifts, but my real true power is people find me when they need me to help give them a different perspective than they have ever had. So what I do is, just by being me, don't even have to work at it, just by all the knowledge I've amassed in my life and just being me, I have these very intimate conversations with people, and they open their souls to me, and through that, they tell me things that are going on, and I'm able to just give them insight and perspective in a way they never would have thought of it on their own. And so it opens doorways and possibilities to them that they never knew that they had. And through that, they're able to make a better decision for themselves. And it has really had a huge impact on people's lives. And I never saw that before. I never realized it took me really looking back and several people in my life saying, you changed my life. When you did this and you did that, you changed my life. And all I did was be myself. But it took me so long to realize that, because I was getting in my own way. And I feel like that was that's what I'm telling you that story. That life story of my journey, because I feel like that's what's happening here, is like, my pile ones, you never realized your true potential. You never realized your soul purpose. And you've been doing it all along. It's just like you didn't realize it, and you were awakened to what that is. And when you were awakened to what that was, it was like, oh my gosh, I need to do something about that. And when you started making those shifts and started going toward your soul path, well, of course, things started crumbling down, because now you're on your soul path, and the universe is going to make sure that you get there. It's going to do everything in its power to make sure you get where you're going, because that's your soul purpose, and that's what you're here to do. And the universe is definitely going to have your back if you're working on your soul path, for sure. And that's what I'm seeing here. And I think, though, my pile ones, I'm really feeling like you have done a lot of the work. You've put in a lot of the work. And like I said, I feel like this 9 of Wands, I feel like, one, you see that defensive energy. Every time I look at this card, I keep wanting to think 7 of Wands, but this is the 9 of Wands in this deck. But it still is that defensive protection energy. And I was feeling that, but I also feel like forged in fire. Like I said, there's that little fire there, but it's also like 9 of Wands is somebody that has gone to battle, that has gone through it. They are forged in fire to become that warrior that they're meant to be. And I'm really, really feeling that for you. So now, I want to pull 2 more cards and then we'll go 2 more things. So the devil's coming out again here, my pile ones. So there really is this fear here. I really feel like with the 4 of Swords. Okay, so this is what is coming through very strongly. I think this is what the challenges are coming through here. Okay, so one, we've already talked about that set. There might be some things that you may do, my pile ones, to self-sabotage yourself. So please be aware of that, because there might be some things that still trigger you that might still need to be healed. You're not fully there yet. But the universe feels like, keep this in mind, the universe won't ever, our spirit won't ever give us what we can't handle. Okay, something to remember: spirit will never give us something that we can't, they don't feel like we can handle. Okay, so even though it might seem like a lot, there's a reason why it's a lot. But excuse me, but if we go back to the studying card, it says, I take it one step at a time. So this tells me, don't be hard on yourself. Don't judge yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you are the star. Believe that you are worthy of what is coming in for you. And if you're not feeling that, take a step back, because that might be one of the steps, one step at a time. And that might be a step that you need to take before, before your abundance, before this blessing, before this final hurrah comes in, because the universe is picking up momentum so that you get in that energy and that momentum that you're going to need for your life's purpose, for what you're working toward. And but it's trying to heal the things in you that might keep you and hold you back from stepping into the star power that you're meant to step into your true purpose. It wants you to succeed. It doesn't want you to fail, because that's what our sole purpose is, what we're here for. So let's go ahead and get your challenge. This next card is going to be your challenge that you face, the Page of Cups. Okay. And this is, again, so I feel like this kind of leads me back to this Nine of Wands, where I think that it has taken you a long time to get here, and you have you have been under the gun, you have been forged in fire. This has been a difficult journey for you, my pile ones, very difficult journey. You've had a substantial amount of growth. You've learned a lot from this process, but now what we need to be aware of is this Page of Cups. He's a little guy. And I feel like it's this little girl, and she has hope, but it is a little Page of Cups. And I feel like this is your doubts, and like, you want to believe in yourself, but this is just a page. So I think that you doubt. I feel like it comes down, your biggest challenge, your biggest hurdle is not believing that you can do this, that you don't believe that you're worthy of this, that you don't believe that you can do this. So keep that in mind, because I feel like this is tied to what's coming out here, and that there's still some things that need to be healed. And I really feel like it's around this worthiness of almost like self-love, of understanding that you are worthy of everything the universe is trying to lead you toward. You wouldn't be given it if you weren't worthy of it. So, the only person that can hinder you here is yourself. And that's what's coming through here as the biggest challenge for you right now, my pile ones. Okay. Let's see if is there, I want to go ahead and see if there's any more on this Page of Cups. Can you give me a little bit more on this Page of Cups? Okay. So with the Page of Cups, strength. Yeah, I told you. I really feel like there's this doubt in you. There's this, I think because of it's taken so long that you're starting to doubt it's going to happen. Okay. And we kind of all can do that, especially when something's taking forever, it's going slow. But you got to understand, and this is something that I even struggle with at times, and we all hate that dreaded word, especially in tarot readings, divine timing. But there's a reason why divine timing happens, because the universe, spirit, has a lot of pieces and parts to move around in the 5D to make something happen on the 3D. So think about a job. If you want a job, you tell the universe and you decide, I want this job, X job. Well, now the universe has to orchestrate and say, okay, well, now we got to create a position at X company that's going to be available. And then we got to make sure that, like, okay, what if you have to move for that job? Now the universe has to make sure there's going to be a place for you to live. If the universe thinks that that job and that, this choice that you made is for your highest good, and they start working with you to make it happen, they've got to, like I said, maybe if you're in love with a person and they're with somebody else, that's got to run its course and play its course with that other person before that person becomes available, for you to be with them. Maybe, like I said, if we go with the job analogy, the universe a position has to be open in a company. If you have to move for that job, a place to live has to become open for you to move. There's a lot of moving pieces and parts that go into something changing on the material realm. Okay, so you have to keep that kind of stuff in mind. So even though I think that, you had to go through this process, my pile ones, because it was strengthening you. It was turning you almost into that diamond, or, you were growing into this beautiful rose that would get, that with the features and qualities that you would need to succeed. And if you didn't go through this process, you wouldn't have the tools that you needed. That magician card, if you think about the magician, and the magician has all the tools, you wouldn't have had all the tools in your tool belt that you would need to succeed. Okay, so keep that in mind when when you have those moments of doubt. I hope that you'll think about that, that and understand that divine timing, it sucks. Okay, we all know that divine timing sucks, but it's something that we have to just accept, that things happen in its own time, and it's not on our time, it's on spirit's time, because everything, like a web, everything in the world is connected. We're all connected, and everything is energy, and everything's connected. So if the universe, for example, it's a lot of moving parts. If the universe opens up a job over here for you in this one place, well, now that person that left that job has to have somewhere to go. And it's like the butterfly that flaps his wing across the world and creates an avalanche or landslide on the other side of the world, because it's the ripple effect. Okay, so just think big picture, larger picture, and all that's involved in it. When you start having those doubts, or start thinking, oh my gosh, this is taking forever, is this ever going to happen? It's just, everything has to be in the right place at the right time, sort of thing, is all I'm feeling there. So let's go ahead and see what I want to pull on this devil card, because we have two devils. Can you give me more clarity on this devil card? What needs to be healed? Give me more clarity on this devil card, the double devil cards, by the way, with the healing. What are we trying to heal here? What devil quality are we trying? Is my pile ones trying to heal? The Emperor. Okay, it looks like, yeah, this is a bit of pride and ego, a little bit getting stuck in your own way. I really am feeling that with this. This is almost like the headless horseman, I guess, headless horseman kind of feeling on this card. But it's like, it's almost like he's going, I feel like, okay, so I'm getting like the emperor, is somebody that takes action on something. When they're not going to sit on the bylines. They stand up for things. They stand up for what they're fighting for. But look at this. It's almost like a mob on this card. It looks like they're getting ready to go attack something, go fight something for, fight for something that they want. And I think that you've been doing that, my pile ones. I think that you've been really working hard, and you've been very strong in this, because the emperor is almost like divine masculine energy, and so you've been very, very strong, standing very strong, acting from a very action oriented place to get to this point. So your masculine energy was very, very high. But what do we have here? We have the divine feminine. So I feel like that, you got out of balance here. So this is telling me that the universe is saying at this time that, and this got to the next part I was going to do without even me pulling extra cards. So I'm probably not going to pull those extra cards now, because I was going to do actions you need to take next. But I think the universe is already answering that question here before I even get to it. Because the action I feel that needs to be taken at this time, and I'll clarify and make sure that I'm on point with that, but I feel like the action that needs to be taken is because of all the actions you have been taking, that you've been in this very, like action oriented provider, get things done, getting a bull in a china shop, feeling that you've been plowing ahead, working really hard, but that has thrown the balance off. And we talked about that at the beginning, that there has to be this balance. Everything's about balance. And I think that it's the universe is wanting you, my pile ones, to get more into this divine feminine, start balancing your energy, and get in this more receptive energy instead of this action oriented energy. Start letting yourself get in a more receptive energy. And I think through doing that, almost like taking a step back and letting things start to come to you. You're like in that phase. And that's why we have this truth statement. I can take it one step at a time. And so I think that it's just the universe saying, okay, you've done enough. Now let us step in. And do you have the faith? Do you believe? Do you trust that we've got your back? Do you believe that we are going to come in and meet you halfway? Do you believe that we're going to open these doors for you, that you've done enough that you can trust us now to give you what you've been working so hard for? And it may take a little bit of time, is what I feel like, but the door's opening. We have open portal there. Okay. So the only things I see here is, so one, your actions is to step back, my pile ones, get more into that, start working from a place of intuition where you're more receptive. Let yourself become a little more vulnerable. Maybe let the universe, maybe people will come in and help you with some of this stuff to take some things off of your place. But it tells you that things are shifting, okay? They're shifting quickly. And I think that it's shifting quickly because the universe is starting to, the blessings and that and everything is starting to come through on the 3D now. And the universe wants you to understand that they are meeting you halfway, my pile ones. So we also covered the challenges and everything, but I did want to, what did I just say? Now I just forgot what it was, and I wanted to clarify. I said I was going to clarify that, but I think it had something to do with, are you indeed, my universe? Give me more on this feeling of are you meeting them halfway? What do they need to do? What actions do they need to take? What actions do my pile ones need to take right now? What actions do my pile one need to take right now? The sun. Yeah. I think it's time. I think it's time for you to shine. I think that the universe is, it's recognized you. It's recognized you as the star that you are. And I think your life's about ready to get really, really great. And so I think the action here is it's just you're meant to shine. Be that empress. You're meant to that divine feminine. You're meant to radiate, to be, this great, beautiful, attracting body of energy, really, really glow up, shine. You're stepping into your power, stepping into your star quality. You're stepping into your divine purpose, what you're meant, your purpose, your true purpose of what you're meant to do. And the universe has got your back, and it's ready to, shine like the star that you are, be the rose, this wonderful, beautiful rose that the universe has been cultivating for however X long a time this journey has been for you. So let's go ahead. Oh, I don't even have to hardly say anything, cards. I want to go ahead and get a little more advice, see if there's any last words from my universe here. Can you give me two more last advice? Final cards, final. I realized I didn't use all my space here, but that's okay. My camera angles are always weird. Okay, so we have Two of Pentacles, Judgment, and Three of Cups. So yeah, we got a celebration coming here after that Judgment, and I feel like this is, this Judgment is the test. Like I said, I really feel like we talked about that, is that, this is that balance. I just said, balancing out your energy. It's time to balance out your energy, and this is your final test before the celebration. I think the universe always tests us to see if we learned our lessons. Did we learn it? Are we listening? Are we using our intuition? Are we learning? Are we doing what we need to do? But the universe will always test us and see, did you really learn the lesson? Have you really changed? Are you really growing? They'll test us. But as soon as you pass that test, and the only thing that's going to stop you from passing that test is this, if you get in your own way, which we talked about, because you might doubt, you might doubt that this is happening. You might doubt or feel that, or lose hope. You might doubt that, because that's why the Strength card is coming out, because that's about fears and overcoming your fears. And that's what we had that on the Page of Cups. And like I said, I think that, there's some doubts here around whether you believing that this can happen or not. I really feel that very strongly. So that's what I have for you, my pile ones. I hope that you really enjoyed this reading. And if you do, hey, hit that like button down below. Leave any comments that you want to share. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I really hope you'll consider doing so. I thank you so much, whether you're a new viewer or a old viewer. I thank you for all the support you provide. You're the reason why I'm out here. So thank you again. I wish you the very best. Hello, my beautiful pile twos. Hello. If you picked pile 2, you picked 20, the medicine wheel card with all those beautiful colors. And then I am not even going to try and do crystal names, because I'm sorry, but I am not I'm terrible at remembering names in general, let alone trying to memorize a bunch of crystals. So so I apologize. I am not that person. I love them. I love looking at them. I love using them, but I do not remember all their names. I can tell you a little bit about properties, because I feel the properties, that at least how they work for me. I'm sorry, I probably shook the camera there. I just bumped the table. I know how they work for me, but individually, and crystals, even if you go online, and I don't know why I'm being called to say anything about this, but when you, I would not always defer to what the meanings of the crystals are, what their purpose is. I wouldn't completely, how do I want to put this? My pile twos, I wouldn't completely put all your stock in those meanings of the crystals. Really discern in everything in life, discern what it feels like, or use your intuition to understand what it means for you. because like even with tarot, when I learned tarot, well, my first introduction to tarot is I had a lady that told me, if you want to learn the tarot, create your own deck. Create your own deck. Don't use any decks out there. Create your own deck. And because why? Because the images and the things that you put on there, it will spark things that mean something to you. And therefore, it connects with your experiences and your intuition to be able to give the messages that need to come through before you learn how to, the traditional tarot. So I still don't technically, I have a general idea of what all the cards mean. At this point, I've done enough readings, but I don't use the traditional meanings of the cards either, just like I don't do the traditional meanings of the crystals as well. I don't use that when I do anything, because I do what works for me. Because there's certain crystals that if you go online, like there's certain crystals that work for me for certain things, like maybe if I want to be creative or whatever, but it may not say online that that's what that stone is supposed to do, but it does work for me because I've worked with it and it works for me. So that's what so there might be something that comes out in your messages when we get in here and dive into it that might have something to do with that. Using your intuition, using your discernment, we will see what comes out. But I feel like with this medicine wheel, one, it gives me a very, Wheel of Fortune vibe. Now, also, we have all these animals, we have all these colors, and I really, really feel like there's this sense of, well, one, like I said, Wheel of Fortune, the wheel turning, but also like part of the wheel turning, it's like if you think about Wheel of Fortune, the game show. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but they spin this big old wheel, and you're wanting it to land on a certain spot, but there's no guarantee where it's going to land sometimes. And the other analogies that's coming through really clearly, and I don't know what those things are called, but they were in a lot of parks years and years ago, and they were like these whirly. I keep wanting to say like. I don't remember what they were called, but they were like this, and they had like the bars, and you run around and make it spin, and it would spin really fast, and you could fall off, you could fall off at any point, but you also can get off of the ride. You can get off of the wheel at any point, but you could also be thrown off of it depending on what's going on. So it's really interesting how that's coming through. So I feel like it's like, are you going to go with the flow? How are you going to keep letting the wheel spin? And I feel like it's almost like an inaction energy. Like, are you going to not act, or are you going to act? Are you going to be more passive, or are you going to be more active? Is what I'm feeling. So that's what we got coming through here. And this is it, and I'm sorry I didn't even say it at the beginning. I just went into a whole thing and didn't even say it at the beginning. But this is what Spirit is wants to tell you right now. This is what Spirit's coming through that they have that they want to tell you right now. Oop. Okay, so you had 2 of these cards come out. I need to... And I do apologize if the camera gets a little shaky, because it's attached to my table, and it seems like every time I touch the table, it wobbles the camera. And I have not figured out a solution for that situation yet. And so we have 2 cards that came out for you. We have Patchouli and Neroli, and Earthly and Unity. Look at that. And I really feel like this has everything's connected. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up, is this gives me, not only does it give me like a flow, but also that nature with all the animals and everything, like a connection to nature, to the seasons, because these are like the directions, and I feel like the seasons of the year, the cycles, and it's a lot about cycles. But it's also got that world quality too. So not only the Wheel of Fortune, but also the world, the world card. And I think, no, I think the world card's number 21. It's not 20, now that I think about it. So we have here patchouli, and it says the trigger statement is I hate my body. Let's do this one first. I hate my body. And the true statement is my body is my temple. Remember that you are a spiritual being having an earthly experience. Revere your loyal, sacred body. Then we have unity. Trigger statement, I am unstable. And then the true statement is I am aware. You are strengthening the connection between your energetic and your physical bodies to help you manifest your goals. Ooh, oh my gosh. So big health vibes coming through here. Big, I'm going to, because I did this on the last one, I'm going to put those kind of, well, no, I want to make sure that you can see the message on the cards, but we'll put those like that so you can see them. I don't remember. I think I pulled this one next. Yeah, I think I pulled this one next, I think. Okay. But there's a big thing coming through here for my pile twos here about, and this is even medicine wheel. So this is really strong. The message Spirit has for you right now is I really feel like there is something that you need your attention regarding your health, whether that be mental health, emotional health, physical health. A big vibe here that there's something you need to heal, something that needs to be looked at, something that needs to be worked on. And I feel like we talked about that. I said right before we put this card down that there's this feeling of that you can choose to not do something or do something, inaction or action. And I feel like we'll keep going before I get into that. So warrior spirit, you keep having two cards come out. Warrior spirit, stand your ground and unlock the warrior within you to help you conquer any obstacles and secure your victory. And then we have mirror life, as above, so below. Whatever is happening within you is manifesting in your physical life. So that's something seriously important here. And I think it's something maybe you guys, some of you, I'm sure some of you may understand this, but some of you may not, which is why it's coming up as something that needs to be talked about here. I really feel this is not going in the direction I originally thought this was kind of going to go, but it did make sense with the messages I was picking up off of that card at the beginning. I feel like there's one thing that we have to understand is that if we're not living our life's purpose, if we're not healing things in our lives, like not addressing things that come up that need to be addressed, whatever that may be, like especially when our intuition is nudging us to do a specific thing, it's giving us, the universe and spirit is giving us lots of signs through pain in our body, through emotions, through lots of things that can happen, stress, anxiety, depression. There's lots of things that can happen that show us, and even on our physical body, like, when we get illnesses and things like that, there's a reason why we call it dis-ease, because it's something that's uneasy. It's something that's coming up through the body, through the skin, through, like it's those illnesses happen because our body is not in tune, not in harmony. There's something out of balance. It's like it's been out of balance for a while, and it's wanting it to be the unstable here. It says, and some of it, for some of you, it might be just a form of, like not appreciating your body, not really. Maybe you don't love your body. It could be that that you have those, you might have issues around your body. What I'm trying to think of the word for it, that you might have, when you look at yourself, you think that you might not be attractive or something like that. Like you don't love your body, okay, the way it looks or whatever, or you don't feel good about yourself, not good enough kind of vibe coming through. But all of that, how you feel inside reflects on how you feel on the outside. And the things on the outside, like everything, this is the above so below, that everything, if you don't like your external world, there's probably something inside of you that needs to be changed to change your external world. If there's something in your internal world that is bothering you, it's probably because there's something in your external world that needs to change. So that's that kind of as above, so below kind of thing, that, and just like with it talked about nature, is everything is connected. Everything, and this came up in pile 1 too, is it's like there's this strong message about connectivity, connection, which is, like really strong message here for your pile, especially about how everything is connected. And so like your emotions are connected to your physical body and how it can affect it. And if you're ignoring certain things that the universe or spirit has been trying to get your attention to, so say you haven't been feeling good. Maybe you've been having indigestion and acid reflux, or, that kind of stuff. Well, there's a reason for that. Your body is probably got some inflammation and it's a little bit angry because it is trying to say there's something that we're doing that's not right for us. So you need to stand up and listen. And until this changes, you're going to feel this discomfort. You're going to feel this dis-ease. You're going to be miserable, until you stand your ground and stand up and take action against it, but it's there, it's your body, pain and discomfort is your body's way of saying there's something wrong that needs to be addressed. Just like when our minds, like when we have anxiety and depression and things like that, it really is. And yeah, I understand that those are diseases, but again, it goes back to dis-ease. Things are not at ease. Things are not at balance. Things are not at harmony. And there's a reason why things are not in harmony for you. So it goes back to finding the root problem, the root cause of the reason why you're at dis-ease, why you're not at ease, why you're not at balance, why you're not at unity, as this says here. So it really is getting back and understanding, taking, fighting for yourself, for your own well-being, understanding that is whatever it is that's causing you that dis-ease, trying to discover what that is so that you can, that you can manifest that change in your physical life, understand. The other thing too, as above so below, is spirit, the 5D and the 3D, it's that connection to spirit, and that you can reach out to spirit to help you in this matter, to help you gain some strength at this time. So we also have here, I think I'm going to have enough room for all those cards. I didn't utilize all my space on the last one, so I will spread out a little bit more. We have biding time. You just need to wait a little while for everything to catch up and settle into place. So this is really interesting. I think I'm going to have to clarify this card because that's really interesting, because I'm getting, this isn't giving me the positive feeling that with this biding time, it's not like a coming out as a positive. It's coming out okay, I see. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for clarifying that. So what this is coming out as is that maybe if you've implemented some changes, that the changes are going to take some time to be implemented. Nothing happens overnight. So if you're trying to do anything that is a get well quick thing. That includes, I feel like for some of you that might be including, depending on what you're doing, but I feel like some of you might be trying to, like, say you're trying to lose weight because of self-image, that's what I was trying to get to earlier. You might have some self-image problems. But with this biding time, it's like, one, it's kind of a twofold message. One, you may have waited, sat back and waited for things to happen. And that was that non-action energy, which I feel has compounded the problem. But also, it's also talking about that it's going to take time to fix the problem, that it's not going to get fixed overnight. So if say you're overweight and your health is causing some health issues, it's no matter what diet or what diet program you use, like if you try and do a quick lose weight quick scheme, that's not going to succeed. It's only going to hinder your body more. So it's doing it the right way. Because I really feel like even with like anxiety and depression, although like medications are good, they're not going to cure the root problem. So if you really want to heal this, if you really want to heal your body, because if you think about medication, most medications, your body becomes, after you've taken it for a while, the medication becomes, your body gets, starts getting attuned to that medication, and then it's not as effective. So they keep having to raise your dose and raise your dose. And so if you're taking a medication for many years of your life, your dosage may keep going up, and it's, you're needing stronger doses. And then you're really throwing your body out of whack because, honestly, that your body wasn't meant to take those medicines. And if you don't believe me, just look at the thousands of side effects on every medication out there. There's no medication out there that doesn't have side effects. And there's a reason for that. Because when you're adjusting one part of your body to adjust for something that's out of balance, well, it's going to throw something else out of balance. So this is really talking about getting to the root cause of the problem and healing the root cause of the problem so that your body can get back into the natural flow and the natural balance that it's meant to get into, okay, is what I'm getting here. But we're going to go ahead, get a few tarot and see what comes out here. So we have the Three of Swords. I just feel like that's that pain, whether it's pain in your physical body, whether it's emotional pain, mental pain, it's pain, okay? It's just pain. And then we have the Six of Wands here. And I see you trying to get victory over that pain. That's victory over that pain. But this is also, we have the Emperor. There's like this stubbornness to make it better. So that's good. I'm seeing that. Like there's this stubbornness that to make it better, which is good because I think, I thought we had that card come out. Oh, yeah, we did. Okay. I was like, I know I saw a card that, because this guy, he looks like a warrior. And it's funny because this came out in the last reading in pile 1 too. But he looks like a warrior. This Emperor looks like he's about ready to storm the castle. Okay. And you have the warrior spirit here. So this tells me that you have the ability to overcome this obstacle, okay? You have the ability to overcome this obstacle, and especially with the Six of Wands being kind of in the middle here. So let me go ahead. Can I get some clarification on this Three of Swords, please? Any extra clarification on this Three of Swords for my pile 2, please? Clarification on this Three of Swords, please. The Three of Cups. Okay, so this really tells me with that card that you might, for some of you, and this isn't going to be for everybody, but some of you, you might be partaking a little bit too much in certain, imbibing a little bit too much in certain things. That's not going to be for everyone, but I'm getting that very strongly coming off of this card. But this also tells me that that there might be a little bit of um, doing something to excess is what I'm getting. I don't know why I'm getting that, but that's what's coming through, is like too much of a good thing can cause problems. So it's leading back to balance. Like this need for balance is what's really coming through very strongly. So what challenges, can you give me a couple cards here on the challenges for my pile 2? What are their challenges they're facing coming up on this with this issue? What's their challenges they can expect? The 3 of Pentacles. I feel like this is hard work, like working towards something, hard work that might need to be invested, that comes with that time. You know, there might be a time investment. The 10 of Cups. How is that a challenge? How is the 10 of Cups a challenge? How is the 10 of Cups a challenge? The Hierophant. Okay. Okay. So this goes a little bit deep. Okay, deeper than I expected. So there might be behavior patterns, and it could be learned behavior patterns, but the Hierophant can talk about values. And so maybe the life that you thought that you wanted for yourself, or that you've been living, the life that you've been living, because 10 of Cups is about your 3D world. Like having what you want in your 3D world. But what's really interesting on this card, because this is like, you've got the Wizard of Oz there, and you've got all these cups, but look at this. There's a cup spilt over, so it's not like almost a true 10 of Cups. And then on top of that, you've got the little, these are, I think, supposed to be the monkey guys. Yeah, they're the little, I don't know if you can see that, but they're like the little monkey guys up there, the flying monkey guys in the Wizard of Oz. And what were they? They were a nuisance. They were like disrupting, Alice's journey toward getting home, getting home. And I feel like that's what's happening here, is whatever is going on here, it's like your body's way of saying that you're off track, that you're, what you thought you perceived, my pile 2s, as your 10 of Cups is not for your highest good. Okay. And so there's been some monkey wrenches thrown out, and I think that your intuition has been trying for a very long time, I feel, pile 2s, to get your attention, to get you to work on this. Look how dark this card is. It's like almost like this person's like so against doing this, like this is a shadow, this is like in the dark and shadows. And I think this is calling it, this card looks this way because I feel like, my pile 2s, that you have been, this is the shadow work that needs to be done, the dark work that needs to be done. And I think it's to change certain values and traditions and beliefs that you have around what you thought your life was supposed to be. I think that you're really feeling uneasy. I think that some of you might have a lot of anxiety or depression. Not everyone, because it talks about physical stuff too, but it really talks about being health-wise, being out of balance. And I think that that imbalance is due to being not at ease in your environment, because we also have to look that this is 10 of Cups, and Cups is not where Pentacles is the 3D world. The Cups is the emotional body. So this tells me that it's something that is not right in your emotional world, so it's not sitting right with you. And when something doesn't sit right with us and we don't take action on it long enough, because look at this guy, he's sitting on his little butt here. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting on his behind, just having a, just chatting around with his pals and being very passive. I feel like my pile twos, I hate to say it, but I'm getting this vibe that you've been very passive, not wanted to work on something, not wanted to address something that's been making you feel uncomfortable, that's been eating at you emotionally for a while. But the universe wants you to gain action over this. They're wanting you to storm the castle and gain victory over what it is this issue is that's causing you this pain, whatever it is, whether it's on, like I said, mental, physical, emotional level. It's like almost like there's been this disconnect almost with spirit as well. And I feel like almost with this card, the spirit, this is like spirit's been biding time, waiting on you, waiting for you to catch up, waiting for you to get the signs, waiting for you to take action, so they can step in and help heal this, is what I really feel like. They're wanting you to step up and be this warrior. They're wanting you to step up and work with them, because this is as above, so below. So that's really, saying the universe, the spirit wants to work with you on this, but you have to, you have to be willing to work on it. The universe can't step in and help you if you're just sitting behind, not wanting to take action on something. And we talked about that, the fact that, you can get thrown off the wheel, and fortune and fate go, your destiny is, even though you have free will and it's in your own hands, inaction is an action. And it's just an act. All choices have consequences, and inaction is a choice, and it does have consequences, just like taking action does. But when you don't take action and it's a non-action, and you're just wanting the universe to take care of it, it may not take care of it in the way that you want it to take care of, because now you've decided to leave it up to fate and not give the universe direction. So the universe is going to do whatever is for your highest good. And which means that it could throw a lot of tower moments your way, pile two, if you don't want to take action on doing something about it. Your life might really start getting worse before it gets better, because it will start removing the things that it needs to out of your life in order for you to heal. And it might be really traumatic for you. It might be worse than the pain you're experiencing now. So keep that in mind. So we got the challenges. So let's go ahead and see what actions do you want pile two to take next? What actions do you have for pile two to take next? So we have the hangman here. I think there's enough room. We'll put it like, I think I can go ahead and go. Let's see. I don't know if these are going to fit. You know what? I'll move these up slightly. I didn't have to do 3 rows on pile two or pile one. So let's see. I think I can get that'll be in there. I didn't have this many cards that came out for them. So you want that one? Yeah, this one. So this was actions that you need to take. Actions. And this is that biding time. The hangman, biding time. And oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I love when Spirit does that. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and then time, investing time. Okay, so because this is a very slow card. This is investing time. This can be divine timing. 7 of Pentacles. It's investing in something, but it's also can be divine timing in a way too, because you're waiting for something to happen. Biding time, we have time. There's a lot of time here. Hangman can be time. So I feel like, and with the King of Cups here in the middle, I feel like there's something that needs to be expressed. Especially this 10 of Cups was talking about emotional. That's emotion can be our wishes and dreams and hopes that haven't been brought into reality yet. They haven't been brought into the physical. It's something we hope for, we wish, we dream about what we want for ourselves. Okay. And so this is what I think the vision you've been living and you've been working on, you've been living this way or trying to work toward what this 10 of Pentacles is. But it's not working and you don't know why. And it's like you keep investing all this love into something, into a picture that is not for your highest good, is what I'm getting here. So the action that the universe is trying to say, and this is going back to something I hinted on, is you need to get to the root of the problem, the root cause of the problem. And I think that this is saying the root problem, at least it's what it's telling me, is the root problem has something to do with what you believe that you think that you want out of life. And I think that what you believe you think you want out of life is because of what you've been taught you think you should have. Not what you really should have, what really resonates with your soul. I feel like this is society, or your parents have your environment you grew up with, my pile twos, made you think like this. Almost gives me the vibe of somebody who, like like your parents tried to vicariously live through you, like through their children, where they had this grand plan for your life. It's what it's giving me, like somebody that is trying to make their parents happy, but they're not really living for themselves, is what I'm getting here. So that's why all this biding time is coming up, and it said you need to just wait a little while longer for everything to catch up and settle into place, because I think that everything that's been happening, and I think the universe maybe has, even though we don't have it out on the table, I kind of got the feeling that if you haven't been through some tower moments, there's some tower moments that may have happened or may be about to happen. But I think I'm surprised too that I haven't seen an Ace of Swords here, because I really feel like there's this about to become this epiphany that's about to come in. And that's this gaining a new perspective. And I think that if you can get a new perspective and get a perspective on what it is you really want, because this is talking about what you want, what you thought you wanted, but I think that that needs to be readjusted. And I think that if you take a moment and sit and think about it, I think that you'll have the epiphany that you need to know which direction to go to take action, that's going to, and know where to invest. You're gonna realize that what you've been investing in was the wrong thing, because look at this King of Cups. It's a mess there. He's got all kinds of stuff. Like, he looks like he's in a dump. Like, this is like, he is just like been through it. Like, he's like jobless and homeless and just gone through it. And he's also this green, like, I don't know if that's supposed to be like the swamp thing or what, but he's not doing too well there. He's not doing well at all. And I think it's because what he's invested in emotionally has not been what was meant for him, and so it didn't turn out the way that he expected it to. And when things don't work out, though, our life doesn't work out the way we had hoped it would work out, yeah, it can cause some things to come up. It can cause us to be angry. It can cause us to be depressed. It can cause us to be stressed or anxious. It can cause us physical ailments, all kinds of things when we're not living the life that we were meant to live, But I feel like, my pile twos, this isn't completely, I don't feel like this was intended, it's just, it was like circumstances, got you off track. You were taught, like I said, I feel like you were taught this, to behave this way, that this is what you wanted. It wasn't really completely your idea, is what I get, my pile twos. So let's go ahead. I want to wrap this up. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put them over here, just because I have the space, and I'll go ahead, because I think I piled them up on pile 2, and I probably shouldn't have done that. But let's go ahead and see if there's any final cards of advice. I'm getting these two for your final advice: the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Okay, so this really tells me, and it is, it really leads back to everything that I told you, but it does tell me that if you take this moment to get in the hangman. Bide your time. Really take the time to understand what the root problem is, and get a new perspective on what you should invest your emotions in, what you should invest on this physical world, this physical plane into. Put your money and invest into something that is going to be better suited for you. Go after something you are passionate about. I feel like what you thought you were passionate about is, it was not meant to be. You know, I feel like this was not, because I mean, the people on this card do not look like they're happy and celebrating and happy. And like I said, there's this, even this rose that has the cup that's fallen over, and there's all these monkeys up here. And in that movie, the monkeys were representing, you know, they caused trouble. You know, they were like throwing a monkey wrench into this is like, I'm getting the impression of like throwing a monkey wrench got thrown into your plans, your life plans, you know, for yourself. And that's what caused a lot of issues, or what's coming up at this time. And for you, my pile twos, and it really is talking about really understanding, you know, coming to terms with the fact that you might have chosen wrong what you wanted for yourself. And I feel like I've already kind of beat that in the ground. I feel like that you just got off track and went after the wrong thing. And I don't think it was your fault, though. But, you know, the King of Wands is talking about somebody that will go after what they're passionate. They'll take action towards something they're passionate about, something they really desire and they're passionate about. They'll take action towards it. And I think if you take action, my pile twos, towards something that you're passionate about, I feel like it's going to give you this stable new beginning. It's going to give you this balance that you've been needing. It's going to balance out the scales, because now you're going to be moving in a direction that you're meant to, instead of going against the flow. Against the flow, you're going to be going with the flow. Okay? So and you'll be in unity. Because you're aware. Oh my gosh, because you're aware that, you know, because you become aware of what you're meant to do, where you're supposed to go. But it's going to take a little bit of time, because I think there's a shift happening, and there's a timing element in this. And I think it's a timing on when it's going to be all hinged on when you decide to get this new perspective. Okay. This is going to, a lot of things hinge on this timing. And I think the timing is associated when you decide to get in the hangman and get a new perspective on what you've been investing in and why. And I think once you realize that you've been, whatever it is, and I don't know, it could be so many things, you'll have to determine that for yourself, what you've been investing in that is not right for you. And once you let that go, once you change that perspective and let go of that and go after something that is right for you, that you're passionate about, that you desire, that you really, really, really desire, you're going to have a stable new beginning. That's going to lead to a ten of Pentacles, I feel like. So that is what I have for you. That's what I have for you, my pile twos. I hope you enjoyed this message. If it resonated, I hope you'll hit that like button. Actually, I hope you'll hit that like button regardless, because it actually helps this this video circulate to more people. It gets to more people. So if you like the format, if the message resonated, you like the style, anything, feel free to leave any comments that you want to leave for me. I appreciate all of them. I thank you so much, and I wish you the very best, my pile twos. Hello, my pile threes. Hello, hello. Thank you and welcome for joining me on this reading. This is what Spirit wants to tell you right now. What does Spirit have in store for you? What do they want to talk to you about? This is, if you pick pile three, you pick this 34 June Companions card. June Companions. A beautiful card here with dragonflies and butterflies on it. And then I think this is called a desert rose. I'm not 100% sure. But as I said in the beginning, I didn't realize when I picked this for this pile that it kind of looks almost like a butterfly shape. a little bit, which is, this has got butterflies on that card. So to start in here, before we start pulling the cards, is I'm getting the mess. I got lots of transformation. Okay, I feel like there's transformation coming in for you. If you're not already, undergoing a transformation at this time, I feel like it's been coming. I want to look at something real quick in the book. I didn't do this for the other piles, but I'm getting, I think I remember something. I want to double check something. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, okay, I thought that, but I wanted to make sure I was on track with what I was feeling and thinking was coming out in the book's messages too. I'm not going to read you the book message, but basically, if you think about my pile threes, butterflies, they go through the different stages of transformation before they become the butterfly. Okay, it's like they have to go through stages, and it can be a long, a pretty painful process. And so I feel like my pile threes, that you have been going through a long transformation process to become the butterfly that you're meant to be. So we also have 34 here, which I feel like it's that 3-4 more than a 7. I feel like it's the 3-4 as in increasing, increasing momentum is what I feel like here more than anything. So let's see what else comes out here for you. So we have, oh my gosh, they have to give me these words that I cannot read. Copabia, Copaba, Paiba. If anybody knows what that is, yeah, I may have to look up how to pronounce that, because I have not had that come out and I don't know how to pronounce that, as you can well tell from me doing that. So we have it's worthy, and the trigger statement is I am ashamed, with the true statement of I am cherished. There are connections to ancestral and childhood memories that are ready to be healed. Allow divine light to shine within. So, yeah, my pile threes, you are, being transformed. I feel like my pile threes, you have been doing some serious, you were brought down on this earth to, I think, to really heal some serious, like, maybe generational traumas, family traumas, generational traumas, because it says here connections to ancestral and childhood memories. And I didn't do this for any other pile, but I'm being called to do it by Spirit. So give me a second, because I have to grab this deck, and it's not right within reach. I mean, it's a couple steps away here. So I'm being called to use one of these inner Oracle Child cards for you. So what is it what is my pile threes ashamed of? What are you ashamed? Why do you feel not worthy? Why do you not feel worthy, my pile threes? Okay, you had 2 come out there. We'll take them. Okay. So these are the inner child Oracle deck, and I pulled this because it says childhood memories. So we're going to see what these childhood memories have to do. Now, okay, so I feel like for some of you with this Feel Better card, I feel like some of you may have, when you were a child, you may have tried to either get hurt a lot, and I'm sorry if this is going to be triggering for any of you, but it's coming through, so I need to say it's coming through, and I'll try and do it in the most compassionate way that I can, but I feel like some of you might have been what would be considered the sick child, And I think that that was to get attention. That was learned that you would get attention from maybe your parents, or family figures if you played wolf about being sick. So like if you knew if you got hurt or if you were sick and didn't feel good that you would be cared for. So maybe you had parents that you felt really didn't give you time and attention and care for you unless you were sick. Okay? I'm really getting that very strongly because look how sad he looks. He's like, please give me attention. Please make me feel better. Please care for me. Take care of me. Now we have here, I gift myself time and space to rest, relax, and replenish. That's interesting. I don't feel like that part of it is so much coming through. We'll see if that needs to be addressed, but I'm not feeling that strongly. I think the big message here was around this need to, like, because even this, like, this card gives me this, like, maybe you were criticized a lot as a child. And this is, just take what resonates. Maybe your parents criticized you a lot, that you didn't feel good enough. You didn't feel worthy because they made you feel like you were a bumbling idiot, maybe, or they made you not feel good about yourself because maybe they always made you feel like everything you did was wrong, that you weren't good enough, that you couldn't, like, they wouldn't let you stand up and do something because they always criticized and said you were always doing stuff wrong or didn't, you couldn't do it right, or just let them do it because you couldn't do it. And it like smashed your self-confidence and your self-esteem. I think there's two parts here, and I think that's why these two cards came out here. Yeah. I love this one. I am gifted and grateful for all that I receive. And I really feel like this is, it's like that attention seeking for the wrong reasons. And I feel like there's two things here, two childhood wounds here. And it might be, some of you may have both, some of you may only have one or the other. But I feel like there was, one of the messages is there might have been this damaged self-esteem because of not feeling good enough, which is worthy, not feeling, feeling ashamed of yourself, feeling ashamed of your actions. But I feel like for some of you, it may have been like you weren't given a choice because you were treated in such a way that you were made to feel like ashamed because you felt like you weren't good enough. You couldn't measure up. You couldn't, like, you maybe couldn't do anything right. Whereas I feel like there's others, or maybe both of these resonate, where maybe the only love and attention that you got was when you would do things to get attention, which this could be this too, because sometimes, like, people that do things wrong, it's still a form of attention. So it's like, I feel like you had possibly had parental figures or people in your life that really didn't give you the time and attention that you needed. So you had to seek it in negative ways to get that attention. And because sometimes it's sad, but sometimes we can seek critical attention or negative attention for ourselves, because we know it's the only form of attention we will get. Otherwise we wouldn't get any at all. And it's sad, but it happens more often than not. And that leads to this worthy feeling. So one thing that I really feel needs to be healed at this time is those inner childhood wounds. And one of the things, because I'm a certified hypnotherapist and rapid transformational therapist, and one of the things that I learned through going through that program, is that you can do the work to heal that inner child by going in. If you want to, you can go into meditation and visit your inner child. Go back to like a home, a place that you lived in as a child in your memory, not like you, I mean, you could do it physically if you wanted to, but mentally, take a moment to like meditate or just in a quiet time to envision you yourself as this child in a place where you didn't feel loved, and go in as your adult self and give yourself the love that your parents or your the adult figures in your life did not give you. Okay, and make your inner child feel cherished in a way that others in your life was not able to do for you. Do that for yourself. Now I also want to say, because this is coming through for me. I think both of those cards wants to come out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take both of them. This is coming through for me, but now this is a timeless message. I am going to say this is a timeless message. So, but if you're watching this at the time of this reading, I'm going to say this. If you're watching this at the time of this reading, I'm going to move these over just because I need to get more cards. We are close to Samhain, Halloween, Samhain, and that is a time of the year when there's a reason why they call it the Day of the Dead, and it's because the veil between this world and those that have passed over, our ancestors, are the veil is the thinnest, where we can talk to those that have, we can commune and talk with those that have passed on. It might be a good, there's a reason why people light candles at that time to in honor of and memory of those that have passed on. So if you are a person that is very, connected to your ancestors or your family members that have passed on, it might be a good time to commune with them and maybe ask them for their help in helping you heal these childhood wounds. It might be a good time, or if there is a family member that was instrumental in causing some of these childhood wounds or childhood wounding for you that made you not feel worthy, that also might be a good time to forgive them, and really sit and understand, why they did the things they did. And that can be very, very hard to say, to understand that our parents, they're fallible. They did the best that they could. And you did the best that you could with the circumstances at the time. And maybe if you go back as your adult self to that time and you put yourself in the parents' shoes, your parents' shoes at that time, what was going on in their life? What were they doing at that time? What did they have going on? And say, and see it try and see it from their perspective, not from your wounded child perspective. And maybe you might be able to find forgiveness for those people, okay? So just going to put that out there. Take it as it resonates. Then we have the illusion card. Take notice of inconsistencies. Look deeper into a situation as things are not how they seem on the outside. That was just what I was talking about, that things weren't as they seemed. You made these assumptions and conclusions when you were a child based on what you perceived at the time, but you didn't have the whole picture that you can, that if you look at it through an adult's eyes now, you may see how you formed those ideas and thought, maybe you thought that that's the way that you needed to act to get attention, but maybe now as an adult, because you've learned other perspectives and you see things in a different way through your experiences, that now you can see it from see how your parents maybe loved you in other ways, because it could have been just the fact that you had different love languages and your parents didn't know how to love you in the way that you needed to be loved. It could be that simple, and it had nothing to do, they were loving you all that time, but you didn't feel loved because they weren't loving you in your love language. It could be that simple. So it really is a calling to heal those inner child wounds right now, those childhood and inner child wounding. And then we have soulmate. New romance is on its way. Watch out for signs that are leading you to your true love. Now, this doesn't surprise me that this would come out, because when we do our work, our inner work, our shadow work, because that's what this is shadow work. When we do our shadow work, I still have, oh my gosh, I still have like 2 cards to pull here. Oh my gosh, and I think I didn't even pull one of these cards for the last, I might not even have pulled one of these cards from the last group. I apologize, pile 2, but I just, that's, whatever it is what it was meant to be. So, but when we do this inner work on ourselves and heal these type of wounds, it makes us, when we feel like we're worthy, because this really gives me the vibe, that you could be somebody, if you don't feel worthy, that you have been attracting partners in your life that have not been suited for you, because you might have been settling, you might have been giving too much to connections because there was a fear of rejection, a fear of abandonment, a fear of not feeling good enough. Well, we already have the worthy, feeling not worthy, not feeling like you're deserving of love, you're not feeling like you're deserving of love. And so before you can be with someone that is a good partner for you, you have to heal this stuff, because otherwise you're just going to attract people that are not well suited for you, because you still have this wounding and you don't feel like you deserve more. And so by doing this work, if you do this work and transform into the beautiful butterfly, and this is hard, because you had a lot of childhood, you had a lot of pain in your life, but I think a lot of it was, maybe things that you didn't, as a child, you didn't understand, and you formed these opinions and beliefs because of just not having the whole picture, being a child and not understanding everything in the world, and not understanding the ramifications of the actions that you took and the beliefs that you built in your own mind, which are these illusions. And so those illusions need to go away. Those false illusions that you built around your pain need to come down. The walls need to come down. The pain needs to be healed, so that you can feel worthy enough of your soulmate, so you're on the same level. And when your soulmate comes in, you are worthy of their love, and you feel worthy of their love. You know that you deserve their love, because right now I feel like if they came in, you would possibly run the other way, or you would overgive and scare them away because you're not healed, is what I'm feeling, my pile 3s. So I'm just putting that out there. You can take it as it resonates, but that's what's coming through really strongly. So we have here, because I need to get at least one more card. We have, don't wait to get picked. Okay, so this is knowing your worth. Don't wait to get picked. Don't chase. And so you guys might be chasers. I felt that with not being worthy. You might, you get runner chasers because of having unhealed stuff, and especially with soulmate coming out here. If you're in a soulmate journey, and you'll know if you are, you might be in a runner chaser dynamic right now. And this is why, you might be having some struggles with you and your soulmate connecting and coming together. And it's saying the reason why is you're still transforming, and there's still some self-worth issues that need to be healed at this time. So we have, don't chase anything that doesn't want to be caught. Instead, pick yourself up and forge ahead. Okay. So this does say a new soulmate's coming in. So maybe you had a runner chaser dynamic, and maybe you triggered each other so much that maybe that person walked away. Maybe you ran away. Maybe you overgive to that person and they ran away. And so things maybe ended between you and another person. Make sure which deck I pulled that from. You and another person. So now I think Spirit is trying to say that you're still in the midst of transforming. So if this person doesn't come back, because you can always have new beginnings with the same person, once you guys heal, if you come back around, things cycle back around. So there is the possibility that once you're healed, that you and this soulmate can get on the same page. But I'm getting a real strong message that you might have a new soulmate coming in that might be better suited for you, um, if you're ready for them. So just keep that in mind. Perspective. Talking to others and getting out of your bubble will help you see things differently. Okay, so this is really telling me, like if you struggle, if you're trying to heal this stuff and you're not, or maybe you're not even aware or don't understand how to heal that, seek advice. Seek advice. You can, there's a reason why we have therapists and counselors, therapists out there, because they help you. That's what they do. They help you, give you a new perspective on things, to help you see things in a different way, so maybe you can heal the things that you're struggling with that you can't heal on your own. Because if you're in this mentality sometimes and you don't feel like you're worthy and you don't believe in yourself, sometimes it's hard to get past that. Sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees. It's kind of that kind of a thing. And I feel like you are transforming. I think you've been transforming. I think, but it's a long, slow process. There's a lot when it's an inner child wound and possibly a generational wounding, because maybe, there's this pattern that's gone over, where your parents, criticized and judged or made them not feel worthy. So in turn, they made you not feel worthy. And it's just been this cascading pattern down through your family tree. So, yeah. Yeah, so it'll take it's not going to happen overnight, especially when this is stuff that is ingrained in you from childhood. It's not going to be healed overnight. It's going to take some time to transform that. So be patient with yourself, okay? And know that you are loved. Know that you are cherished. And if you don't feel that way, give that love to yourself as I described. Give that, go in and heal your own inner child. Give that love to yourself, to your own inner child. Pick it up in your mind, visit your inner child, your childhood self. Visit your childhood self and give it the love that it deserved and needed, that you didn't get from your parents, okay? So I've done that with myself. I've gone and visited my childhood self, and I did that, and it's powerful. When you take that child version of yourself and embrace it in your arms and show it and give it that, your child self, the love that you didn't receive, and tell it, tell your child self that you are safe, that you are loved, that I'm here for you, that I can give you as an adult. I can give you all the things that you didn't get as a child, because I have the power as an adult to do whatever I want, to give myself whatever I want that my parents or my family members did not give me. It's powerful. I'm letting you know, it's extremely powerful stuff. If you're willing to do it, it'll really transform you. It's really powerful stuff. So we're just going ahead and seeing why is this coming up here, Spirit? Why is all of this coming up? We have the Eight of Cups, the Fool, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. So there's really something beautiful coming in for you. And so that's why Spirit's wanting you to heal this at this time. I think that for many of you, there's a soulmate either in your life already or coming into your life. Depending on, what's going on, you'll have to take that as it resonates. And you do have a choice. The Lovers is a choice in a sense. It's not on the board here, but there's a reason why the Lovers was called the choice card, because we have a choice of who we take as our lover. It is up to us. So you can, if you're in the soulmate journey, you can choose to be with that person, or you can choose a new soulmate that might be coming in that will be just as well suited for you. But either way, it's calling for you to heal. For you to heal. And so I feel like, this Eight of Cups is walking away from that which doesn't serve you, which is this belief that you are not worthy. And, taking a risk, leaping forward, going after what it is that you want. But look at this Fool. He's like, not only is he a little kid, little ghost trick-or-treater, but look at him. He doesn't want to be seen. This gives me the impression of, maybe you as a child, that you felt unseen, you felt unworthy, you felt You didn't get that love. You didn't feel loved and cherished. You felt very unseen as a child. And so it's like there's this part of you, like this child is not, he's not trying to go trick or treat. I mean, he's out there trick or treating, but it's not like he's trying to move very fast. It's like almost like he's afraid, afraid to go trick or treating, afraid to knock on those houses, afraid to get the candy, to get the reward. And that's all about being the fool. You have to take those risks. You have to take those chances. You have to have that strength to overcome your fears, if you want to have what it is you want in your life. Because 10 of Pentacles is your world being what you want it to be in the 3D, in this physical world, having what you want in this world, but you have to have the strength to go after it. So let's go ahead. Can I get the challenges this person's facing? What challenges is pile 3 facing at this time? What challenges is pile 3 facing? The 3 of Pentacles, the 2 of Wands, and the Hangman. So this is with the 2 of Wands being here. It really is lending me to one of the things is like, I love that these are kind of like hearts on a stake. And bleeding hearts at that, like bleeding hearts. It's like she's pulled these hearts out and stuck them on these spikes. And if you think about like spikes, usually they were put up like that to ward things off, So, but if a traditional 2 of Pentacles usually has the wand behind the person, one wand behind the person and one wand in front of the person, because there's something that you need to leave behind in order to go towards something else. Okay. So we have here, it's like with this 3 of Pentacles and the Hangman being here, I almost feel like it's that doing the inner work, looking at the shadows, doing the inner work, because both of these cards are very dark and gloomy. They got a lot of shadows on it. So it's like doing that shadow work, getting that new perspective, getting this new perspective, on things that needs to take place here. So that's like what the challenge is can you get this new perspective and know what it is you need to work on, to put on the work? Can you do the shadow work? But I feel like you've been kind of a little bit defensive about looking at these things, possibly pile 3. Take that as it resonates, but I'm getting that you might have been, as kind of I described that, that those, when you put heads on a spike, usually it's to keep people away and keep people out. And maybe that's what you need to do at this time, to be able to go in and because the Hangman tree, when you get in the Hangman tree, it's usually a solitary energy. It's going off by yourself and being alone to think about things, to do that shadow work. And maybe that's what this is a challenge. It says this is your challenge, is, that the shadow work needs to be done, before the soulmate comes in, because it says it's on its way. So it's like, but you have to be ready for it, and it's calling that you need to be, heal some of these issues, this childhood wounding. So let's go ahead. What actions can my pile 3 take? What actions can my pile 3 take? What actions should they take? I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. I know these are kind of off a little bit, but these cards are really big. So it's throwing everything off a little bit. Hopefully. So for actions, you have the 5 of Swords. Interesting. I gotta put these cards are just too big. We'll put there we go. Now we can put those on there. There we go. I want to make sure those got in the camera. So we have the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles. A lot of 5s changes. Changes. interesting that you get 2 5s. And the Chariot. So this is the actions you're supposed to take. I feel like okay, so usually one of the things with the Chariot is that it can be your intuition, like your heart and your head battling it out. You know, it's like your heart wants to go, like your mind is telling you, your logical mind is telling you to go in one direction, while your intuition and your heart is telling you to go in another direction. So you have to get both of those kind of aligned to get to go in the direction that you want to go in. So for you to take action, this is telling me that you have to, it's getting in touch, you know, getting in touch with, it's everything we talked about, you know, because if you look at, you know, if to get your mind in the right place, you need a new perspective. To get your heart in the right place and your emotional, mental, like, or your heart and emotions in the right place so that they're on the right track, you have to do this shadow work. But we have here that we're talking, we have both things coming up that's been talked about. 5 of Swords is self-sabotage. It's self-sabotagey. But it's like, look at this crayon, this yellow crayon. He's sitting there crying over those, like he could pick those swords up. It's like it's weird that he's upset that those swords are on the ground. And this person's up here like, these are mine. But it's like this person doesn't feel like they're worthy enough to pick up those swords and fight against, you know, fight against that person, you know, or to take those. Like, even though he could easily do it, he doesn't believe he can, you know. And so, and then the 5 of Pentacles, of course, this is like left out in the cold, but I like the way this card has, look, it has these pentagrams. So it's like, you know, the star, hope, you know, like that there's hope in that building. Like if all they have to do is open that door and go in, but they're so scared. It's like the haunted house, and those kids are so scared to approach that door. But look at all those, like every window has a star in it. It has a pentagram, but it has a, you know, which is a star. So it gives me that like sense of hope, that there's hope if you would just go inside. But you have to overcome your shadows. You have to overcome your fears to go walk through the door, you know, just like he needs to, you know, get over his fears and pick up those swords. It's like overcoming those obstacles, overcoming those challenges and those obstacles that are in your way to get that are in your way, my pile 3s, from getting your heart and your heart and mind on the same page, so that you can move forward, so that you're at a place of harmony and peace. It's really doing that transformational work to become, you know, from you know, getting in your cocoon and becoming that butterfly, you know, getting in that cocoon, you know, getting in that hangman energy, you know, and getting in that cocoon so that you can transform. So what did I do? Oh, here's my deck. Like, where did I set my deck? So final advice, universe, final advice for my pile 3s. Any final messages on this topic? Any imparting wisdom that you want to, last messages, last words, any advice? You have the 4 of Wands. Yeah, that's that soulmate coming in. That's like reunion, or can be reunion if you're twin flames or soul, you know, deep soulmates on that soulmate journey. But it talks about, you know, having something stable. But I feel like this is, you know, she's there and she's celebrating. And I think that that's, you know, it's celebrating your worth. you know, that you can, that this is possible, where you can, and look at that, the star card came out. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, she's this beautiful star, this beautiful princess. This is you, my pile threes. You're this beautiful star, you know, if you do the work. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Okay, pile three. If you were drawn at all to pile one, in the least, I really highly encourage you. Actually, I encourage you no matter what to go look at pile one, because I think pile one is where you will be if you do the work. If you put the work in, and only because the star was essentially the overall energy, it played a big part in pile one. And so for this to come out as like your final advice, I really feel like pile one are the people that have done the work. So you're kind of going to understand what will happen if you put in the work. You know, like if you can heal this, if you can transform this and heal this, that pile one will help you understand what's coming for you. Okay? Because pile ones have done the work. They're on the back side of it, where you're maybe in the middle of it, pile threes, or I feel like you're in the middle of it, you know, either you've just started it or you're somewhere along the process of transforming. And then we have the 5 of Cups here. So many fives. Look at all those fives. 3 fives. All that change. Fives are about change. So really big message about change, transformation, change, transformation. Do this transformation. You know, one of the things about the 5 of Cups is that usually they're always focused on the spilt cups and not on the cups that are upright. So, you know, there's like this, you could have everything that you want, it's there, but most times we're focused on negative things and not the positive, you know, even though, you know, maybe with this, if you're dealing with someone already that you've had challenges with, like maybe you're in a runner chaser dynamic of some type, if you focus on the positive and like be grateful for what you have and start, you know, really doing the work to be, you know, grateful for what you have, you know, this is going to help that soulmate come in faster, you know, just by starting to do the work and starting to transform, you know, because you begin, instead of focusing on what you've lost, you focus on what you can gain, what's still there, so that you can invest in what is still, that you still have, that can actually lead to something better than what was spilt here, than what you lost. Okay. So I really hope that resonated with you. It might have been a more unique message, so you'll have to let me know down in the comments below if this did resonate with you. I really would love to hear that, because this seems like it's more pinpointed. It may not be for everyone. So, you know, of course, I hope that if it didn't resonate with you, you maybe went and visited another pile, or maybe you need to, you're farther on the journey, and maybe, you know, if you were drawn to pile one, maybe pile one is the one you were meant to listen to. I don't know. But I want to take this time to thank you so much for joining me and listening to my messages. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button down below and join me. I would love to have you as part of my family. Definitely. I hit the like button. I hope that you'll hit the like button regardless whether it resonated or not, just because it helps my video circulate, so that it gets in front of more people, so the people that need it have access to it, basically, so it doesn't get canned by YouTube, you know, somewhere in a black hole, you know, and doesn't get seen, because it's harder for once it goes through its initial cycle circulation, it gets a little bit harder and it's more challenging for people to find the videos, because they're always everybody's putting out new content, so it kind of gets buried and lost a little bit, unless it's continuing to circulate and continuing for, you know, to get the likes and comments and things like that, which I think most of you already know. So thank you for those that do hit that, you know, hit that like button down there or subscribe to my channel. I thank you so much. I wish you the best.